This is News 10 Mornings.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday, August 13th. Welcome to News 10 Mornings. I'm Walt Gray.
And I'm Amy Carrabba. And yes, if you're looking at us saying, who are these two people?
Yeah, I'm sure they're thinking a few things right now, which we don't necessarily want to get too deep into. But thank you for waking up bright and early. We do have a lot of 4:30 a.m. Viewers.
Yeah.
From
Yes.
what I understand, it'd be nice if you stuck around a little bit longer. But again, we'll get into that too. So the players, as you know them,
yes.
Mr. Weather.
I'm still here.
Since saying Rob Karlmark, as we talked about, is a difficult thing to say.
It is.
Mr.
You put a
Weather
hyphen in there, it makes it a lot easier. But we got to talk about Amy.
Me?
Yes.
What did I do?
Tell everyone about yourself. You are familiar to a lot of people in the Sacramento area.
Yes.
So, tell
Yes,
us
I've been in Sacramento for a while. Across the street, we'll say.
Yeah.
But now you're here. Your favorite.
But now I'm here. I went to San Diego to visit my family for a little bit and spend some time with them. And then I luckily got the opportunity to come back and work with you guys, which is so great.
And you're a real morning person. You love mornings. You get up early.
People know. I wake up and I just love the mornings. Walt, I love the mornings.
We're going to get you over that, pal. And then Melissa, of course, needs no introduction. You're still doing the traffic today, right?
Yes, as far as I know. And nice to see you. You need no introduction as well.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we go way back.
Mr. Weather, lead us off. What do we got today?
Okay, what we're going to be looking at today, it's going to be a pretty quiet weather day temperature-wise. Everything else, though, is going to be somewhat of an issue, so let's take you through it. Satellite radar quiet at the moment. A little bit of marine layer out by the Bay Area, and this area of low pressure is still hanging out off the coast. It's not going to make a move until tomorrow, but what shows up today is this, a red flag warning for a huge area, including the Tahoe Basin. So this is going to be the crest of the Sierra, and then over to the east side. It includes a good portion of far northern California. It doesn't kick in until 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. Just know it's going to be windy, it's going to be dry, and it's going to be warm, and that is a fire risk. We're seeing a little bit of a delta breeze in Stockton and also Sacramento. We're in the 60s right now. Overall, it's going to be a nice day, high close to 90 degrees, just like yesterday. Tomorrow about the same, then it gets hot, really hot this weekend, close to records. We'll talk about it. Melissa?
Tournament this weekend. Hot, okay. And nice to have you with us, Amy and Walt. Good morning, everyone. 4:32. Nice to have you join us as well. Let's talk about traffic. One problem, this reported by the Woodland CHP office. County Road 99 West. The cross street is County Road 13. Here's what we know so far. It looks like a truck hit a power pole. News 10's live drive is en route to the scene. We'll certainly keep you posted. All right, keeping you posted on this. It started yesterday. This will be continuing for the next 3 months. We have construction. Northbound 5 will be shifted to southbound 5. Where in Stockton? Basically from Charter to Pershing. So a reminder today, this was caused a few headaches yesterday. If you want exit access, stay in the right lane for the duration of the 3 months. And speaking of rising and shining, lots of folks already up and about over the Tracy Triangle. We'll take a look at drive times coming up in just a bit. Now back to you.
All right, here's what's happening today. A formal procession is going to be held for the firefighter killed battling a wildfire last week. 21-year-old Michael Hollenbach was struck and killed by a tree while fighting the blaze south of Echo Summit. The procession, that's going to start at 10 o'clock in the morning in South Lake Tahoe, stopping first at Sierra at Tahoe, where he also worked before going down Highway 50 through Placerville.
The Sacramento City Planning and Design Commission expected to vote on whether to lift restrictions on the use of fake turf. Currently, it is illegal to replace your front lawn with artificial turf in Sacramento. It is legal in backyards. If passed, it would then go to the City Council for final approval. And this morning, we're monitoring some wildfires burning in Northern California. Crews are still working to contain the Jerusalem fire that is near Clear Lake.
Yeah, that blaze grew in size yesterday. It spread into Napa County. News 10's Dave Marquis has more on the firefight and the grueling shifts crews must be on to battle the blaze.
The firefight on the interior of the Jerusalem fire so ferocious at times, it turned these white columns pink when retardant was dropped from aircraft. But that was enough, along with crews on the ground, to save a number of homes, including this one. Captain Zach Curran and his strike team from Napa County finally getting some tailgate coffee after 17 hours on the lines, where they kept every home safe as the Jerusalem fire tore through.
Our strike team was spread out over this whole area, and at each of these homes, we had a few where the fire came right around it. But our crews were able to get in there and make sure that it's kind of steer it around the homes and protect them.
On the far northeast flank of the fire, flames heading uphill, but there's no worry. They're about to meet what's left of the Rocky Fire, where there is absolutely nothing but ash. Back on the fire lines, Curran and his crew have a long night ahead before they can get another few hours of sleep. For now, the Jerusalem fire has turned into more of a pussycat than a tiger, but crews know over the next couple of days temperatures are going to go up, humidities will be going down, and they need to make a lot of progress before then. At the Jerusalem fire, Dave Marquis, News 10.
Well, some amazing photos and videos are shared on social media with each wildfire in California. This Instagram video shows just how strong those flames are up close.
Whenever you see the news up close and personal, share these images with us if you can on Facebook and Twitter. Crews continue making progress fighting the 10,000-acre Rocky Fire, which is directly north of the Jerusalem fire. The blaze is now 95% contained. Officials hope to have the Rocky Fire fully contained tomorrow.
Cal Fire crews, they reached full containment on the Lowell Fire in Nevada County. That fire's burned over 2,300 acres, including 2 structures. 6 firefighters, they were injured fighting this blaze, one seriously with 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his hands and face.
All right, some other top stories we're following for you right now. Good morning. It is 4:36. We now know the name of an inmate killed during the late afternoon riot at the new Folsom Prison yesterday. 71-year-old Hugo Pinnell. The Department of Corrections says he was a member of the infamous 1971 San Quentin escape attempt. Pinnell had been locked up since the 1960s, serving a life sentence for rape and for killing a prison officer years later in Soledad. Now, the riot happened in an outside exercise yard yesterday afternoon. At least 70 prisoners involved in the melee. It lasted about 20 minutes before correctional officers got a handle on it. 11 inmates were injured. No one on the prison staff was hurt.
This morning, 2 Stockton cops are recovering from minor injuries after 3 police cruisers collided. It all happened yesterday morning on Hammer Lane. All 3 vehicles, they were in pursuit of a robbery suspect. Now, police say a van was actually stopped in the middle of the street, and all 3 officers had to swerve to avoid that van, and then they all hit each other. As for the suspect they were chasing, he was arrested on charges of robbing a check cashing store.
We have some new pictures into News 10 this morning of a search for a missing man at an emerald pool in Nevada County. Multiple agencies have been looking in the area for the unidentified man who was first reported missing on Sunday. The Nevada County Sheriff's Department says divers searched the pool yesterday and found that man's body about 30 feet underwater.
3 men have been arrested for allegedly kidnapping and carjacking a man in Placerville over the weekend. The El Dorado County Sheriff's Office says the victim and his friends, they were driving around the county making stops and also allegedly using heroin while friends drove the victim's car. The victim was in the passenger seat, in and out of consciousness. They stopped at a home and everyone got out except the victim. Now, according to the sheriff, that's when these 3 got into the car, 3 men. The victim says one of the men started driving the car recklessly through Placerville and then assaulted the victim. The 3 men, they were booked in jail on multiple charges.
All right, across America right now, a developing story out of the state of Georgia today. Former President Jimmy Carter is battling cancer. The 90-year-old had a small mass removed from his liver earlier this month. In a statement, Carter says that the cancer has now spread to other parts of his body. In his recent memoir, he revealed that his father, brother, and 2 sisters all died of pancreatic cancer.
The head of the EPA is traveling to New Mexico today. Gina McCarthy is trying to calm fears after mine waste spilled into the Colorado River, contaminating it. Now today she's going to head downstream from the original spill near Durango. An EPA crew accidentally unleashed 3 million gallons of wastewater from an old mine into the river.
The Elvis Presley Forever stamp was unveiled at a ceremony in Memphis. The singer's ex-wife Priscilla took part in the ceremony outside Graceland. Of course, that's Elvis's longtime home. The stamp uses a black and white image of the young Elvis accompanied by Presley's signature in gold ink. The stamp goes on sale this week. Another ceremony is planned for today at Elvis's birthplace in Mississippi.
Now to your money headlines. Long lines at the pump could soon be in the future. A new report claims a $12 billion package aimed at reducing carbon emissions is to blame. This was introduced by the Senate Democrats. And the bill calls for a 50% reduction in gas and diesel fuel by 2030. The San Joaquin Farm Bureau says the legislation would devastate the ag industry.
Well, Americans love their cars, and it's evident by the record amount of money they're borrowing in order to have them. Americans have taken out almost $1 trillion in auto loans. Americans borrowed a record amount in auto loans from April through June this year. 2015 totals are at $932 billion. Sacramento Regional Transit plans to open its new Blue Line extension to Elk Grove in just over a week and a half. And to make riders feel safer, RT rolled out a new Rider Watch program modeled after Neighborhood Watch. It is an app that riders can download and report trouble in real time.
We're starting with Elk Grove, but this is a test case. So we're going to see if it works in Elk Grove, and if it works, we'll expand it system-wide.
Regional Transit says they're also adding more officers to the trains that go to and from Elk Grove. They hope to attract a lot of state workers with the new line, and they believe more people on trains can lead to safer rides. What do you think about that, Melissa?
A lot of folks are excited about it. I think it's a great idea, and a lot of folks are looking forward to the Consumnes line. Goes online officially for service on August 24th. August 23rd, Sunday, they're going to have a soft launch, so I'll get to check on the program. I'm going to be on hand for that.
You're going to ride the train?
I will be riding the train, kind of kicking off the
There's a
festivities.
visual.
And you know, a lot of folks say, hey, this is pretty early. The first Blue Line train actually leaves at 4:16, so it gives you an idea of how many people want to get out and about to work on time.
How do you know all this stuff?
It's my job.
She loves it.
I guess.
Here's what I love about it. Price of the pup is going up, and
Yeah.
it's just a great way to save money, you know?
That's what I think people justify. How long will it take? But the stress that you save and the gas money too. Should we take a look at any schedules, see if there are any delays
Do you
this
have
morning?
some, did you make some stuff up? You got
I
stuff
gotcha.
going? All right.
I got you. All
My
right.
guess is no delays right now.
No delays right now. But please come join us on August 23rd. Let us know what you think. Would you be interested in trying the light rail line? This was one station a lot of folks said if it goes online, they would be willing to make light rail maybe part of their commute. Testing, by the way, you might see some folks there in advance of the opening testing out the line. Hey, how soon does BART leave? 4:09 some trains. Right now, no major delays. We track that for you throughout the morning. Still looking good over the Tracy Triangle. But here's what we find with our traffic outlook. Typically on Thursdays, the busiest time to be on the road, actually around 6 a.m. and that continues till 7. So a shorter and busier congested point typically Thursdays. In the afternoon, try to get on the road, get past that 580 205 junction before 5, and you might save some time on the road. This is like your wife's weather forecast, and meteorologist Rob Carmont says, well, but it's traffic forecasting technology. So a little something we have just for you
guys are just all computer literate. And if you're trying to catch that 4:09 first BART train, you better hustle up because you already missed it. All right, your time right now is 4:42. Coming up on News 10 Mornings at 4:30. Mother Nature has been spoiling us lately, and that soon may change.
And a big weekend, warm-ups on the way. We'll have Rob answer that coming up. Energy Commission voted Wednesday to phase in new standards on shower heads. Starting in July of 2018, they must use no more than 1.8 gallons a minute. The current rule is 2.5 gallons a minute. Now, they've already tightened standards for faucets and toilets. They've also announced a $30 million rebate program to replace old toilets and grass lawns.
Mr. Weather is coming in, Rob Carmark, and he's in charge of all things that are water conservation and all that. Rob,
I'm in charge?
You're in charge of...
Then I have a lot of explaining to do.
I guess if we have, well, yeah, but anytime we talk about water conservation, you know, it all turns into El Nino. What I've worried about is people who are not conserving because they think we're going to get floods this winter.
Hey, well, here's the thing. Even with a strong El Nino, even with everything that I'm looking at, it certainly stacks the deck, and it looks good that we could be looking at some really decent rain this winter, and nothing's a guarantee. Right. And if you count on that, you're in big trouble, because here's the thing, folks. If El Nino does not produce the amount of rain that we need, we're in big trouble, because we've had 4 years of extreme drought. We really, with the way that the reservoirs are looking, if we have another one, we're in deep, deep trouble. So we're really counting on it. We really need El Nino to step it up this year. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have radar-wise. Things are really quiet. I don't see any rain in the forecast for the next 10 days or so, and that includes the higher elevations, by the way. Things are really, really quiet around here, and in fact, today we have strong winds, very dry conditions for the high Sierra. We have a huge area with a red flag warning. Just in case you forgot, a red flag warning is when it's really dry, it's really windy, and that's a fire risk, and that's what we're looking at this afternoon for the high Sierra. Mostly the Tahoe Basin and points to the north and south, and you can see with the winds this afternoon, some gusts up to 30, maybe even 40 miles an hour. I think the strongest wind gusts are going to be close to sunset, and then they're going to start to die down through the overnight hours. So this is just a one-day deal for the red flag warning. It's a dicey day because, as we all know, there's ongoing wildfires. There's thousands of firefighters all over the state battling fires, so anything new is going to pull resources off those currently burning fires. Overall, though, it's a nice start to the day. Beside that, 63 degrees at the moment in Sacramento, and we might have some issues with the marine layer tomorrow, so it may be a gray start to the day. You could start to see it moving through the Bay Area, and then perhaps by early tomorrow morning, some of those clouds will sneak in. Usually we tend to see that on the far east side of the valley, so maybe a gray start to the day, and then the sun will come out, burn that off, and then we're looking at sunny skies and a warming forecast. We have to be honest with ourselves. This has been a pretty solid summer because we've only had a handful of triple-digit days. Those are rough days, but there hasn't been that many of them, but they're coming back this weekend. I think we're going to hit 100 at least for most valley spots on Saturday and Sunday. So make the most of the days ahead because it's going to be hot this weekend. A nice spread of 80s through the lower foothills for Tahoe, about 80 degrees or so. Red flag warning included in that area, so that's the entire Tahoe Basin. It's mostly the crest of the Sierra off to the east side. So if you live on the western slope of the Sierra, I think it's going to be breezy today, dry and windy, but not as bad as it will be in the Tahoe Basin. 90 degrees today, 92 tomorrow, and then it gets hot. I threw the record on there just so you have some perspective. 104 or so in Sacramento and other spots. The record in Sacramento is 106. So we get close to records on Sunday and then a slow move down into the lower 90s by the end of next week. Melissa.
Okay, Rob, thanks very much. 4:48 is our time. Super commute, rise and shine. Bay Bridge looking pretty good this morning as we take a look outside. Interstate 80, no major problems, and our drive times overall shaping up fairly nicely. Let's take a look in Stockton. They were back to school this week. Good morning, everyone. That construction is underway. Those lane shifts, northbound Interstate 5. If you were traveling from Charter to Pershing, be prepared for that taking place for the next 3 months or so. Didn't cause any big headaches yesterday, but you know what? Let us know if you have any concerns. We'll be following up with Caltrans on that. This continues westbound 80, top of town, Chihuahua. That's been a headache. Summer 2016, still the completion date, Caltrans said. And drive times overall, you know what? We're in pretty good shape, but a reminder with school back in session, including for San Juan today, slow down, extra kiddies out and about. And speaking of summer, it's coming to a close, boo-hoo. But that also means back to school shopping. It's in full gear. Now, according to the National Retail Federation, the average family will spend more than $600 on school supplies, maybe including some outfits for the kiddies as well. The Better Business Bureau recommends buying supplies in bulk. Also, you want to create a budget and shopping list, and that way, hopefully, you can limit purchases to only things you need. None of that Red Sox gear that Walt always wants to put in the carriage.
Yeah, it's on sale right now.
Yeah, don't miss the sales. That's another tip to save some money. Compare prices between different stores. One thing we took advantage of this past weekend, a couple of the stores offered sales tax-free savings, which in essence mean you had about 10% off the total purchase. That might be worth it. And a couple of my friends are doing the consignment stores, like Once Upon a Time, and they also have sales on uniforms as well. So and let us know your tips. We'd love to take a peek. I went with my daughter, and she said I could go with her, but kind of zip it on my suggestions for fashion.
That's what she said. What?
She's much cooler than me. So that might be a good tip, you know, maybe zip it a little bit when it comes to the fashion. Just help save the money when you buy it, I guess.
Just starting a new job on the early morning show, do we get to shop? Is that possible?
That counts as back to school shopping.
I think so too.
Yeah, and you'll do your part for the economy. Shop local if you can.
Melissa, who's supplying me with so much new material right now. So. All right, Melissa, she's not just traffic. She's also sale items as well.
This is true. I try. So keep the tips coming, you guys. We'll take a peek.
4:50 is your time, and coming up on News 10 Mornings, are you good with money? We know Melissa is most thrifty. This one may be just the job for you.
Yeah, coming up, we're going to tell you who is hiring. All right, time now to talk jobs in today's Who's Hiring. We'll have that coming up.
Yeah, we sure will. But first, we have to talk about one of Rob's favorite subjects.
Wine.
Your next bottle of Sutter Home wine you pick up at the store likely came from a new massive facility in Lodi.
Yes, News 10's photographer Mark Pepper takes us inside one of the most advanced winemaking facilities in the world. Here's the best part. It's right here in our very own backyard.
This is Trinchero Family Estates. We actually have a little over 600 tanks of varying sizes at the crush side and well over 50 million gallons of cooperage on the crush side. Inside that building, you'll see 3 high-speed bottling lines and 1 fully automated warehouse. Over the last year, we've hired right around 100 people from various communities surrounding us, Lodi, Sacramento, Stockton areas. One of the focuses of the family has been to create a work environment that's very appealing to the people, that they will enjoy working in this facility. This is really an amazing facility, and like I said, grape to truck, there's nothing like it in the world. And I think it's a great blend of the technology, a great blend with the people focus, the people culture focus, and also the advanced winemaking processes.
I know what you're thinking.
What?
You're thirsty.
Well, I was actually going to check your cup and make sure, you know, see what's in here.
Yeah. See, that's the biggest. Don't be giving away my secrets now, because sometimes there's
like
premium unleaded. I'll tell you quickly a quick story. It was like a year ago. I was anchoring Weekend Mornings. I had a horrific cough.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of Fireball in there.
You did? You had a little Fireball?
I did, a little bit. I mean, it helped with the cough.
Hey.
It was medicinal and professional.
And you're still here, so that's all that matters.
I'm not sure if I was all there that day. Well, the new building is capable of producing 17 million cases of wine per year, in case you're wondering. The Family Estates is located near I-5 right outside of Lodi. The Lodi area has 95 wineries.
And they're all good, and Walt has been to all 95 of them.
I've been on the tour there of Lodi where they do the chocolate and wine thing. It's amazing, and there are parts of Lodi I'd never seen before, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a very cool town.
Yeah.
So just FYI.
Yeah, Lodi is great.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to check in with Dina right now. She's working on something fun for us.
Hi, good morning, guys. Walt, I remember that day very
yeah, you were there with me. Oh my gosh.
With the fireball.
Yeah.
Can't get away from that one.
No.
Hi, good morning, guys. We're talking about the cost of parking in Sacramento potentially going up. And if you are somebody who fights to try to find a spot in downtown Sacramento or an old Sac, once you get there, imagine now 50 cents more per every hour that you park. The Sacramento City Council is considering this. They held a meeting last night. So coming up in the next half hour, we're going to go out to Old Sacramento and talk more about what this means for you, why the hike is potentially going to be happening, and what you can do about it moving forward. We'll have that coming up in a bit.
So basically we need to save all of our change. That's
exactly
the key.
Yes, those 2 quarters. If you have extra quarters in your pocket, hold on to them for sure, Amy.
All right, thanks, Dina. All right, here's what's happening in today's Who's Hiring. El Dorado County is hiring an accountant, and this person would work for the county's Health and Human Services Agency, which is in Placerville. A bachelor's degree that is required, and to apply, visit edc.gov.us and click on the Jobs tab.
Be sure to tune in Friday starting at 4:30 a.m. for the Children's Miracle Network Telethon. We're looking ahead. Watch, call, donate what you can if you can. We're going to have updates all day and throughout our newscast. You can also check out the hashtag #Give4Kids. So tune in. You're going to be here 4:30 tomorrow. It's not just Friday, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
It's just jumping up
but
on
where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at the hospital.
You're going to be there.
I'm going to be doing the telethon thing. So tune in if you can, and you guys will still be here. You don't get the day off, right?
No. No, but that's a great telethon, great facility. It's all size. They have a kids ER, so it's really cool.
So check it out. And we'll be back with more news. We haven't been canceled yet. We'll be right back.